Good morning. Welcome to day 29. Happy Monday. Thank you. Before we get started, I want to just say thank you for showing up. One of my main goals when doing this and making it live stream is to hold me accountable. And if you can't ever tell, this is my first stop in the morning, and you make sure that I get out of bed and I engage in this 20 to 30 minute practice with all of you. So thank you so much, as we're one day away from 30 days of this. So let's start warming up the spine, twisting, tapping, hips, lower back. This week we'll continue with the rules of posture. There are 18. Last week we did 1 through 5. I'll remind you of those 1 through 5, and I'll get into 6 today. Back to stillness. All right, let's wake up the legs by doing tapping on the knees. So we'll start outside. And inside. Now let's cup each leg or each knee. Good. All right, let's go ahead and knock on the chest, right up down the sternum right here. Good. We're going to do the shoulder point. Now, I'm doing this one because it's tender, it's a long point. You can feel, and if there is knocking that you feel needs to be elsewhere on the shoulder blade, please go ahead and do so. So remember, knocking should be firm and to your comfort level. So you should not have pain. You should not feel like you're beating yourself. But this is a form of acupressure. So like acupuncture, but without needles. So you want to make sure that you're getting in there to hit those points, where a needle would usually do that. All right, other side. So here for this point, I use my knuckles, kind of wedge in there. And this point in particular, when I get it to open up, I can feel it run down my arm. And stop, shake it off. We're going to move into purging. Our purging exercise for this week is going to be trembling horse. It looks a little silly, but it feels really good. So, and it's also a great exercise to ensure that you are leaving your body loose and not tensing. When we tense, we create stagnations and more blocks and defeats the whole intention of our practice. So, stand legs a little bit wider than shoulder width. Bend them so slightly like we do in our standing meditative posture. Our hands are going to gather the energy out of our body that we want to release into the earth. So it's going to look like this. They'll shake to gather. Feeling the energy, gathering the energy in this embrace. When it gets all the way up here, going to release, and it's a shake from the whole upper torso of the body. So it's to try to make the spine loose, and it's shake, release, so everything drops to the earth. You want to shake it like that. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit faster to show you what it looks like in real time. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and join in. It's almost like a wet dog. Shaking the parts that need the energy released. Let's do one more. Good. So my shakes take different formations as I follow intuitively where my body is asking for me to release the tension to hopefully move stagnations out. So it doesn't have to be perfect each time. It's purging, so it's all about finding that energy that does not serve us and releasing it back into the earth to be recycled to good chi. Okay, here we go. Getting into our posture. So feet, once again, a little bit wider than shoulder width. Feet are straight. End goal when we settle is that we'll be having our weight balance on the center of each foot. Knees are slightly bent, like there's a invisible beach ball that's being held by them to make sure the knees are not turning inward. We want them to be straight. Butt is rolled under, tucked under. Hips. Hips is like there's this invisible belt of 1,000 pounds. So hips are relaxed. They're also settling into this leg orientation. And as we do that, we want to watch the alignment, our nose, our navel, and our toes should all be aligned. So that's how we can check that. If the knees are over the toes, that means our knees are bent too much. We're extending ourselves in a way that could injure ourselves, so we want to make sure to avoid that. And as always with this, if you have any pain, come out. Go in the posture as much as you can. So if it is just standing shoulder width apart, then do that. If you can do the other pieces, but you can't bend the knees yet, that's okay. Maybe do some more tapping on those knees. But never try to suffer through pain. It's a difference between feeling the muscular burn from muscular development that we talked about last week versus forcing yourself to engage in a painful practice. Lee Holden says all the time, no pain, no pain, no pain. So rolled under, hips are relaxed. Rounding of the perineum, which is the crotch area, which naturally happens when you tuck your butt under, but just this visualization that the crotch area is rounded. Once again, this is intentionally making sure that this area is relaxed, that holds our energy. And the last one last week that we went over was close the anal sphincter, which once again is what you would think it is. It is the hole in the anus, but this naturally contracts when we roll there. So this is all naturally kind of happening. We don't want to force it closed. It's just a gentle close. Once again, this whole idea of creating this area where energy cannot be leaking out as we seep up. There's a couple of energetic pathways, meridians that cross over this area right underneath us. And so therefore can cause us to lose energy as we're bringing it up. Excuse me. All right, so that brings us up to Friday last week. Number 6 is to relax the waist. So finishing off the area that really holds the reservoir of chi. They call it the furnace of energy. So to relax the waist, we're going to take a deep breath in that's going to raise our shoulders up and fill the chest, and then we're going to relax it back down and just settle, and it just melt there. So here we go. We also want to pay attention to the sacrum, so this part in between our pelvic bone and spine, ensuring that is rounded. Once again, something that's naturally occurring as you rounded your butt under. But here are all these pieces that fall into place by that one motion. And for you to check, make sure that you're in the stance as needed. As we saw last week, the stance is proven to be more challenging to me after making these modifications. All right, so let's have spine straight. Eyes closed, mouth closed, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Arms are hollowed. As you settle, you can begin your 1 through 4 meditation if you'd like. More. You can just kind of hang out here in Wuji, imagining bringing up this energy, nurturing yourself. If you want to begin a transition into your breathwork practice today, you can go ahead and do so. As we're finding our deep abdominal breathing, you're inhaling from the belly. So you're filling the belly, holding the belly out. And then exhaling. Whatever amount of counts you're holding, that's up to you. go ahead and begin to close out your 1 through 4 meditation, or do a couple of last sequences in the breath. Come back for regulation. To begin our regulation exercise this week, it's going to be more mental visualization. But before we get there, let's just take a moment to do an exercise called opening the flow. And basically what it is, it's a lead hold and exercise that allows you to feel energy and to have awareness of the increased sensitivity that you may be experiencing now that we're hitting about 30 days in on this challenge. So gently, our hands are just going to rise up and back down. And this exercise also going to prove as a warm-up for feeling what energy should be feeling like in your body during our regulation mental visualization exercise. And then allow your hands to rest in front of the lower dantian. Going to move into the visualization portion of our regulation today that we'll be using this week. So it's going to require the coordination of breath as well as imagery. I want you to imagine that this pool of energy that we've talked about here in this lower abdominal area that we've been focusing so much on our posture. I want you to imagine that you're going to inhale and you're going to feel that energy travel up the spine and pool here, right at the base of the neck. And on the exhale, it will travel back down. Then on the next inhale, it's going to travel up the front of the body to the base of the neck, and then back down. So just this almost kind of like teeter-totter motion that we'll feel going back and forth. So let's go ahead and settle. Begin with an inhale, feeling the energy travel up your spine, up to the base of the neck, and exhale, energy slowly traveling down the spine, back to the lower dantian. Inhale, feeling that energy travel up the chest to the base of the neck, and exhale, returning it back down to the lower dantian. Continue with this pattern. One more each way. Let's go ahead and seal our practice, bringing our feet closer together. One hand on top of the other, allowing the energy to settle. Gently allowing the body to sway or rock if it feels called. And come back to stillness. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.